want to win the argument or stay married? These are the words of Matthew Keller, author of the Empty Cellar blog and former Catholic Alpha client.
Welcome to the Save My Catholic Marriage podcast, the podcast that helps you fight for your marriage when separation, divorce, annulment, or a sexless marriage are on the table. I'm Jerry Jacobs Jr., author of From I Do to I'm Done, The Wife's Exit Strategy. And for over 11 years, through more than 1,000 one-on-one sessions and over 500 group sessions, I've helped Catholic men reclaim leadership, stop chasing, and rebuild marriages that looked impossible to save. Men don't come to me when things are fine. They come when she says, I'm done. I want out. You're not the man I married. They come when the marital embrace is gone, when trust is broken, when desire is dead, and when her bags are already packed. I'm not a therapist. I'm a war coach. I'm the man you come to when you think you've tried everything else and sadly find everything else doesn't work. I help you ignite the Holy Spirit and take the fight to the enemy. No tips, no tricks, no soft advice. I train men to become the husband their wife has been begging for in silence, and the man Christ has been calling them to be. If this sounds like you, then brother, welcome to the battle. The battle for her heart, for her mind, for her body, for her soul. This is the Save My Catholic Marriage podcast, the Catholic war room for men. Pray hard, lead bold, love fierce. Bam! Today, we continue former Catholic Alpha client Matthew Keller's battlefield testimony. 10 ways Catholic marriage coaching changed one husband's life. In the last episode, we opened Matthew's public reflection and covered the first 2 lessons: pray every day and strive for holy lover sex. But today, we move into 3 lessons that hit right at the daily battlefield of marriage. Because a lot of Catholic husbands think their marriage is falling apart because of one big crisis. And sometimes that is true, but very often the marriage is being worn down by the daily patterns. Little arguments, the sarcastic tone, the failure to make time for his beloved, the slow collapse of pursuit. The way a man can start treating his wife like she is just part of the furniture of his life instead of the woman God entrusted to him. Matthew's 3 lessons are simple, but they are not soft. They are direct, they are practical, and if a husband actually lives them, they can change the temperature of the home. Today, we are covering number 3, never argue with your wife. Number 4, make weekly date night an absolute must. And number 5, put your wife on a pedestal. Now, I know that last one, it makes some men uncomfortable. They hear put your wife on a pedestal and they think that means worship your wife, become weak, lose command, or let her rule the home. That is not what we mean. A Catholic husband does not worship his wife, he worships God. But he does honor his wife. He does cherish her. He does discipline his tongue. He does lead the home in such a way that she experiences him as steady, loving, prayerful, and easier to trust. So, as you listen to Matthew's words today, do not just hear this as one man's testimony. Use it as an examination of conscience. Where have you been arguing when you should have been leading? Where have you been proving your point instead of protecting the bond? Where have you allowed your wife to feel like she is getting the leftovers of your attention? This is the Marriage Strategist Strike Files, Strike File 212. And today, we continue this special battlefield testimony. 10 ways Catholic marriage coaching changed one husband's life. Now, let's get battle ready. Bam.
Battlefield testimony. Do you want to win the argument or stay married?
Three, never argue with your wife. Every now and then, you'll hear this lie that it's healthy to argue with your spouse. I certainly believed this and let it justify our little squabbles and big quarrels alike. Jerry quickly straightened me out. I was skeptical at first, that no arguments ever is even possible. A year after Jerry's program, I can tell you it is possible. One of the keys is humility on the husband's part to keep his darn mouth shut. As Jerry says, do you want to win the argument or stay married? Many couples are secure in their commitment to each other. Despite heated arguments, they're raising their voices at each other 1 minute and come back a few minutes later like nothing happened. But I guarantee those arguments are damaging their intimacy. As a husband, you have no idea how deeply your word choice and tone affect your wife. It's so easy for you to hurt your wife because of how bonded you are through marriage and sex. Your harsh words to her are like razors cutting her skin, whether you can see the wound or not. This doesn't mean no one gets to feel heard. It just means you bite your tongue when you find the perfect words to one-up your spouse and you find a way to respectfully bring up important issues. Jerry has a proven problem-solving formula that could be its own blog post. I'll just say that timing is important. You get better results when you don't discuss big issues in the heat of the moment. Wait for a calm time in bed or maybe on date night.
Hey, if your marriage is quietly falling apart, this is not a coincidence. Separation, divorce, annulment are not the cause. They are the consequences. Because behind every marriage crisis, there's a pattern, a progression most men never see until it's too late or there's several moves behind. Look, when a crisis hits, rookies sit down, deny, procrastinate, do nothing, and lose hope. A strategist? He stands, he plans, he takes action, he holds his ground, and he rests in Christ. So, the question is, rookie or strategist? Because most men try to fix this alone and crash and burn. A crisis demands a plan, not advice. Your first move, get the field manual. From I do to I'm done, the wife's exit strategy. A Christian husband's Catholic guide to halting her hidden plan to leave, divorce, or annul you. Go to SaveMyCatholicMarriage.com.
Battlefield testimony. Couples who don't go on date night every week get divorced.
4. Make weekly date night an absolute must. This was one of the first things Jerry had me change. We were doing date night once a month on a good month. When Jerry gave me this directive, he put it more pointedly, per his style, saying, couples who don't go on date night every week get divorced. Reading that, you're probably thinking of the same excuse as I did. We're way too busy for weekly date night, or that's going to get real expensive real quick, or we simply don't have childcare coverage for weekly date nights. But all these excuses amount to misaligned priorities. What's more important, your various errands or your marriage? Your money or your marriage? Your children or your marriage? When it's phrased like that, of course you should prioritize your marriage. The fact is, your marriage needs deliberate quality time. Set aside for it every week, where you focus 100% on each other and having a good time. That time is fertilizer for a healthy marriage, and the end-of-day calm, when the kids are in bed and you're both tired anyway, is not sufficient for proper bonding time. Jerry emphasizes a buzzing restaurant atmosphere on a Friday night, where everyone's a little excited and relaxed. Ideally, there's a bar, and you can order her a margarita or wine. Things like a little alcohol or a candle on the table matter, because they create a whole different mood. Details and intention matter. Show you care by coming up with a great list of restaurants ahead of time and letting her choose. Being too busy or lazy are not real excuses, but there's some legitimacy to financial and babysitter concerns, but they're easily addressed. No one says you have to go out for it to be date night. Put the kids to bed, order in a meal, and just play a game or watch a movie or knock out to-dos around the house. The important thing is you do these things together. Your marriage needs something to look forward to on a regular basis, and weekly date night is the answer. It keeps you both engaged. Use weekly date night as a marriage status check-in and simply ask her how the marriage is going, if she's happy, and if there's anything you can do better.
Let me pause right here because this matters. If you're listening to this and you're realizing your situation is already escalating, she's pulled away, talking divorce, or the marriage is breaking down in real time, then don't try to figure this out alone. Most men do, and they crash and burn because they don't understand what they're truly up against. Separation, divorce, annulment, they follow a pattern, and a crisis like this demands a plan, not advice. Inside the manual, you'll see exactly where you are in the breakdown and the next steps to stabilize it. And if you're ready, you'll have the option to work with me directly and map out your next moves. Go to SaveMyCatholicMarriage.com. That's SaveMyCatholicMarriage.com.
Battlefield testimony. Real leadership means service. God first. Your wife second. Your kids third. And yourself last.
5. Put your wife on a pedestal. I'm going to get pushback on this one from the macho men who think leadership means dominance and control. Real leadership means service, says Jerry. People use the phrase putting on a pedestal in a negative light, but it perfectly captures what your attitude should be to your wife. In the early months of your relationship, you probably worshipped the ground your girlfriend walked on. There was nothing you wouldn't do with or for her. That's what I mean. After a few years together, puppy love fades and your spouse's flaws start to glare at you. You certainly shouldn't let her get away with anything like disrespecting you or living contrary to God. But you should be patient with her, accept who she is, and adopt a lifestyle of constant service to her. Can I get you anything, honey? Let me do that for you. How can I be a better husband? Even better, anticipate her needs so you don't have to even ask. You should know her likes, dislikes, and routines well enough that you can take care of her needs before she voices them. all the way down to opening every single door for her. It really is those little things that matter most. Make her life as easy as possible. Win her heart every day. Why? Because you love her, and love is not a feeling. It's an action, a daily dying to self and willing the good of your wife. And guess what? Doing this is how you reach a fulfilling, enriched life as well. That's how God made us. Win-win. Putting her on a pedestal doesn't mean you make her number one overall. Jerry says, make sure your whole family knows your priorities. God first, wife second, kids third, you last. Among humans, however, your wife should 100% be your number one and only. Which brings us to Jerry's best friend concept and our sixth horizon. We will cover this concept in the next episode.
Listen, if this episode hit you hard, good. Because that means you're finally seeing what's really happening. This doesn't fix itself. It doesn't slow down. And it doesn't wait for you to feel ready. Every day you sit still, you lose ground. And she moves further into the wife's exit strategy. So don't sit on this. Don't overthink it. Don't go back to doing nothing. Go to SaveMyCatholicMarriage.com. Get the field manual. See the pattern. Take your first real step. Because right now, you're either becoming the man who saves this marriage or the man who watches it disappear. Hey, I'm your coach now. Let's get battle ready. Bam!